Hello! For my Zenith project, I decided to make a 3D YouTuber avatar, which is pretty cool. Just got a camera pointing at my face, and I'm actually doing the things that you see the model doing. Like moving eyebrows, blinking, talking. Wow! And kind of finicky, but maybe get winking to work. Yeah, it's kind of finicky. And making this model was a lot more difficult of a process than usual because I decided to do some fancy things. For example, we got the ears. They are not technically hair, they're actually part of the mesh, which is fancy and was also really annoying to make. And the other thing is adding custom effects to expressions. And I don't have expression detection set up because it's a bit of a pain to set up, and I don't really have the patience to do that right now. So I could just change expressions using hotkeys. We got smiling, the purple hair, which is the aforementioned fancy effect. We got angry, the ears go back. We got really happy, also purple hair. We got sad, ears going to the sides. And we got surprised. Wow. So that's most of what this model can do, but there's a lot more things that are possible that I just did not have time to implement, or can't. For example, hand tracking. You need special hardware to do that, or a lot weirder setup than I have right now. And you can also add custom animations, so I could like make an animation in where he just waves the hand, but that would have taken forever because it's annoying. So it's actually not too hard to make a simple model, but the process I did was a pain. But I'm happy with how it turned out. So let's go through the whole process of this thing. So, we start out in Vroid Studio, which is for making the basic model. Let's see, it doesn't have the ears, most notably. And it's actually pretty simple. Most of it is just mess with sliders until things look how you want them to. So like, you can change the length of the skirt, just a slider, and can't undo that for some reason. Thanks. And can change presets of things. There's also some texturing you can do, which takes a while to load. And so you can draw on the clothes, on the body, you can edit all of the textures. And it's not that bad of a texture editor, but it's not as good as others. And then the hair is the most annoying part. You have to either manually draw each individual hair or mess with a bunch of parameters to procedurally generate hair. And then you have to add the hair to bone groups so that it can actually be animated. See, it's sort of, mine's just sort of flopping around right now. And that's basically it. Then you can just go and export a model. So that's pretty simple. And then we get to the fancy things I did. First, I imported it into Blender. Wow. Which, as you may notice, is a bit more intimidating user interface. So, what I did in Blender was, obviously, I sculpted the ears. Yeah, that's the main thing. I also made some changes to the mesh, did some additional texturing, and yeah, there's not much else. The ears took quite a while. Also, if I select the body, I added some shape keys so that I can control in what position the ears are. This is pretty important for what I did later. And what I did later, it requires going to a whole different software. Then didn't actually have to export the model, well, but I did have to do a lot of other things to make it work. In Unity. Yeah. So, Unity you probably think of as a game engine. Which, yes, that is its main purpose. No idea what's going on in this scene. It's not the one I wanted. I think I wanted this one. So, I had to drag and drop the Blender file into Unity, take the textures from the original model, and manually reassign them, and also manually reassign the textures that I edited, and then I had to run a script so that it copied some of the weirder components required by the model format, and then have the model in Unity. And what do you do with it there? Well, in Unity you can do a lot of things. Most importantly, you can change what the blend shapes are, which is basically the components of expressions. We have this expression, which has all of these properties. We have all of the expressions. Here, you can edit them however you like, and more importantly, if you have the expressions for the model with the ears, because I added those custom blend shapes, I can animate the ears along with the expressions as well. So that's pretty cool. And then you can export from there, and you have your 3D model that you can use in basically any program. But the program that I'm using to perform has its own special model format based on the general one that can make use of more advanced Unity features because it is itself built using Unity. So that's what I've done here. And that is what allows me to change the hair color. So here, down here, is an animation that changes the base color of the hair. You can see these numbers here. As I change the time, yes, it shoves the mesh into this weird curled up state. And that is why it's really annoying to make animations that actually animate the arms and whatever other parts of the body, because you have to compensate for the curled up thing. But thankfully, if you're not animating any of those bones, you don't have to worry about it. So you have the animation, which makes the hair purple, and then makes it not purple. And then it goes on. I can add that. That's to the specific expressions. These two. And another thing that I tried to do was messing around with particle systems, because you can add those, and they didn't end up looking too great in the end. None of the ones that I ended up making did, anyways. So I scrapped that due to a lack of time, basically. Another thing I added that I'm not going to show, oh, really? Actually, you know what? I probably will. Was a secondary camera that is mounted on the head, which is pretty cool, but yeah, no, it's just actually pretty cool. But I didn't have much time to set up a fancy scene. But let's see, got an animation in it that will activate the camera. And I have that round 2. The expression extra. So, if I activate that, whoa, do you look at that? Crazy. And that's actually me looking around, which I think that's really cool. It would be great if I had more time to set up an actual scene besides a cube, a sphere, and the text "I am looking." But yeah, this took a while, mostly because sculpting the ears was annoying, and I had a lot of things to mess around with and learn to get all of this set up in Unity. But yeah, then just export it and set some settings to start using it. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I like it, and it was fun to make. We'll probably end up improving on it in the future, or making a new one, or something. I think it's really cool, and yeah, that's my Zenith project. I hope you like it.